Welcome to Algebra 1. The learning goal for this episode is to learn how to find the number of combinations for a given situation. First, some necessary vocabulary. A combination is an arrangement of objects in which order is not important, unlike permutations, where order is important. For example, if you're ordering 2 side dishes from a menu, getting French fries and grilled veggies is no different than getting grilled veggies and French fries. So our formula for the number of combinations of n objects taken r at a time is n factorial divided by n minus r, the quantity factorial, times r factorial. Let's look at an example. Let's say you order a sandwich at a restaurant and get to choose 2 side dishes from a list of 10. How many combinations of side dishes are possible? Well, that would be a combination of 10 choices taken 2 at a time. So that would be 10 factorial over 10 minus 2 quantity factorial times 2 factorial, which is the same as saying 10 factorial over 8 factorial 2 factorial. If you're not using a calculator, that would simplify down to this when you divide out common factors. If you are using a calculator, you can just plug it into the formula. That then works out to be 45 total combinations. Let's look at another example. AHS plays in the Centennial League, which has 8 teams. If all the teams play each other exactly once, how many games must be played? That's a combination because we don't care about the order. Us playing a team is the same as that team playing us, so we only need to count that once. So it's 8 choose 2, or 8 factorial over 8 minus 2 factorial, 2 factorial, which is the same as 8 factorial over 6 factorial, 2 factorial. If we're doing this manually, that simplifies down to this, which works out to be 28 games. Now for our guided practice section. We're going to work through some problems together. You do not need to write down these problems, just step through them with me. At each step, I'm going to prompt you the questions you should be asking yourself, then I'll pause for about 5 seconds for you to think about it and answer it for yourself, then I'll show you. So for this problem, our first question is, what are we trying to do here? What we're trying to do is find the number of combinations of 24 objects, in this case students, taken 4 at a time. How do we do that? First, we use our formula for a combination of 24 objects taken 4 at a time, which will be 24 factorial over 24 minus 4 quantity factorial times 4 factorial. Now what? Well, that simplifies down to 24 factorial over 20 factorial, 4 factorial. What's next? If we're doing this without a calculator, we can simplify it down to this. If we're using a calculator, we would just go directly to the answer. Now what? Now we simplify it completely, and that works out to 10,626 possible groups. Let's try another one. You decide to create your own lottery where contestants have to choose 3 numbers, each from 1 to 30. Assuming the order they pick the numbers doesn't matter, how many different choices are there? How do we do this? This is a combination of 30 objects taken 3 at a time. What's next? If we're not using a calculator, we simplify and simplify again. Now what? Now we simplify one more time to get our final answer, 4,060 different possibilities. But what if order did matter? What if we did care about the order? What then? Then it would be a permutation, not a combination. And that works out to 24,360. Now for the self-check section. In this section, you're going to physically pause the video as you work out the problem on paper in your notebook. Then you'll press play to check to see how you did. You'll have 5 seconds to pause the video after I stop speaking before I show you the solution. Please pause the video and work out the problem, then press play to check. Here is the solution. Please compare this to your work. Pause the video here if you need more time to compare, then press play again to move to the next problem. Same thing on this problem. Pause the video, write down this problem, and work it out in your notebook. Then press play to check. Please pause the video now. Here's the solution. Again, pause the video if you need more time to compare this to your work. In closing, let's review our learning goal. We wanted to learn how to find the number of combinations for a given situation. We did that by learning the formula for combinations and how to apply it. Our formula for a combination of n things taken r at a time is n factorial divided by n minus r, the entire quantity, factorial, times r factorial.